I wanted to share today about a specific term that's starting to be used a little bit, given some of the upheaval in the social networking space. But more importantly, one of the attractive things about Web3 domains, I think, is they're going to be more adaptive to some of the new uses of domain names. And so I wanted to look at one of these today, which is this idea of a federation universe or a Fediverse. Now, this may sound something like it's out of Star Trek or something, but it's this idea as we look at the Wikipedia page of this ensemble of federated, i.e. interconnected servers that are used for web publishing and hosting. And what's happened is as the world begins to realize the problems with centralized social networks, one in particular right now, Twitter, they've searched out other things. And what it's done is it's refocused a lot of people on the idea of a domain name holding your own content where you control it. And when you apply the idea of a digital identity that you control in a domain name, and some of this may happen inside the existing ICANN space, but I think some of it may happen in the Web3 and blockchain space. Because if you're looking for ways to quickly change what you're doing with identities and these new universes, you may run into barriers on the ICANN space. Barriers including renewals, barriers including whois, barriers including centralized control and legal framework. And not all Web3 and blockchain uses of domains mean to avert these for commercial reasons or for negative reasons. A lot of times you just don't want to be under the control of another company when it comes to your own content. So as you think about registering TLDs and domain names and Web3 domain names, I think understanding more about the Fediverse is helpful. Primarily because it brings up this idea of permissions. So if you look at the description, in some cases, users can share data to a selected group of identities and allow other identities access to other users' data. And I think what you'll see is this adapts very well to some of the digital identity features that exist in domain names. And to the extent that the domain name you want isn't among the existing ICANN list of domain names, then you may want to pursue getting a TLD or a domain name in a TLD on the Freename system. So the idea of a Fediverse or a disconnected universe has been around for a while, but it's got some recent attention as a competitor to Twitter called Mastodon is starting to use it. But the reason I think it may have staying power also is it really appeals to a generation that grew up on a game and an entertainment platform